guys, my name is Robin and I'm one of the talking heads behind NZPocket Guide, New Zealand's largest travel guide. Over the past 10 years in New Zealand, I've done well over 600 activities, so many so that I stopped counting. In fact, you can see my partner Laura and I doing over 400 activities on this channel alone. But now, it's time to sort through them all and rank my top 101 best activities in New Zealand. And today, this is the SUPERCUT. You're gonna see all of them. There will be some free one, there will be some paid one, and there will be some that you suggested. So get busy in the comments telling me which one are your favorites. And let's get started. At number 101, we have one of the rare activities I actually haven't done in New Zealand, but I so want to do it, I had to include it on this list. And it's the Southern Lights. It's pretty hard to see the Southern Lights, you have to be at the right time and at the right place, but when you see them, apparently, it's one of the best spectacles of nature. At number 100, we have the Timber Trail. It's an epic mountain biking trail in the Puruara Forest Park on the North Island of New Zealand. If you don't get to make it all the way to the North Island though, try the Roxburgh Cycle Trail. It's pretty epic as well. At number 99, we have the Republic of Whangamomona. Did you know that within the North Island of New Zealand there was an independent republic? Well, the small town of Whangamomona, it's kind of the quirky story behind that. And its president once was a goat. So it's worth checking out just for that fact, is it? I mean, you can get a passport stamp, it's quite fun. At number 98, we have New Zealand's only tea plantation. It's located near the town of Hamilton and it's called Zealand. There you'll be able to tour the plantation, try some epic teas and even learn the tea dance on how to properly pour tea. At number 97, we have parasailing in the Bay of Island. The Bay of Island is made up of 144 different islands, making it a perfect landscape to witness from above. Jump onto a parasailing tour, it's super accessible, you can be 5 and you can be 95 years old and you can still do it. If you can't make it to the Bay of Island, try it on Lake Taupo, New Zealand's largest lake. At number 96, we have Rolling Like a Hamster with Zorb. It's located on the North Island, it's in Rotorua, and it's just pure madness. You get into a big hamster ball, they put some water in it, and you just kind of roll like crazy down the hill, and it's a lot of fun. From outside, it does look super mellow, but from inside, it's pure chaos and a lot of fun. Plus, it's quite cheap. For number 95, I am taking you near the town of Omarama on the South Island of New Zealand for the Clay Cliffs. Once you enter this tiny little canyon with heaps of amazing cliffs, you will feel like you're walking on the moon. I have not been on the moon, but I feel like it may look like that because the landscape is lunar and unlike anything you've seen before. At number 94, it's time to stuff yourself. That's right, New Zealand has amazing Manuka honey, amazing sodas like LNP and fantastic chocolate like Whittaker's chocolate, plus much more things to try. New Zealand has fantastic food, you've got to try some. There is a list on NZPocket Guide with our favorite foods from New Zealand, check it out. At number 93, we are taking you to Highlands, which is a massive motor park nearby Queenstown. There you can ride supercars and the little one can ride go-karts. It's a lot of fun for the petrol heads. At number 92, we have probably the most accessible volcano crater in New Zealand, which is Mount Tarawera. I know you were thinking about the Tongariro National Park, but that's coming up later. Mount Tarawera can be accessed from Rotorua and it's well worth the trip just for the ski run alone. At number 91, we have a very easy way to discover the underwater world of New Zealand. It's clear kayaking in Goat Island Marine Reserve. The kayaks are fully transparent, and through the little tour you'll be able to see snapperfish, kelp forest and much more. You're gonna really love that, plus if you're based in Auckland, it's a short day trip. At number 90, we have landing on the Tasman Glacier by ski plane. The Tasman Glacier is New Zealand's longest glacier, and trust me, it's gonna make another appearance on this list. And once you land on top of the glacier, you'll be able to gaze at New Zealand's tallest mountain, Mount Cook. It's a day out like no other. At number 89, we have the Rere Rock Slide near Gisborne. Forget all the water parks, New Zealand has natural water parks like the Rere Rock Slide. It's a beautifully smooth rocks with a waterfall on top of it. Just grab your inflatable mattress and slide down the slopes. Number 88 on the list is rail biking in the Forgotten World. You can get real sweaty doing that if you choose the pedal-powered rail bike. You can see us right here, we got a massive sweat. Now you can also choose an electric one if you want to take it easy breezy, and basically you're gonna make your way through a disused railway in one of the most remote places in New Zealand. At number 87, we have Washburn Falls. This one takes my heart. You never think that in the Canterbury Plains you can find such amazing hidden gems, but the Washburn Falls is a bird paradise. It has Maori history, it has volcanic landscape, and it even has a little pond where you can row a boat. Plus on top of that you can stand on the cliff and get amazing picture of the whole Canterbury Plains. It's a must do. Number 86 is brought to you by a massive earthquake, and no, I am not talking about Christchurch. In 1931, the city of Napier was devastated by a massive fire that was caused by a massive earthquake, and they had to rebuild the whole town, and they decided to do so in an Art Deco style. Well, you can do a tour and check out the massive amount of stunning architecture around the city. Number 85 is visiting the Bridge to Nowhere. Once upon a time, farmers wanted to settle in the Whanganui National Park and wanted to graze all their cattle around there. And to do so, they had to make their way through it. So they had to build a bridge, but then it was abandoned and there is just a bridge standing in the middle of the forest. It is quite the sight. So when I did number 84, I didn't think about bringing a camera. I was young and I was stupid. Now it's Baldwin Street. It is for the young and stupid. What is it? It's just a very steep street. In fact, it's one of the steepest streets in the world. Sometimes it is the steepest street in the world, sometimes it's not. But look at those people over there. They look super happy. Look at them smiling and be happy standing on a very steep street. Anyway, it is kind of interesting to see how steep it is, actually, for real. Like, I mean, check it out. At number 83, we have the Moeaki boulders. Those perfectly spherical stones standing on the beach make the perfect picture opportunity on a road trip on the South Island of New Zealand. So make sure to check it out. Plus, it's not too far from Baldwin Street, which is in Dunedin, which I just talked about. So once you checked out that street, stay in the car and keep on driving to Moeaki. At number 82, we're sticking with free attractions to visit, and we are looking at the Whangarei Falls. They are probably one of the easiest waterfalls to access in the entire country, right about maybe 5-minute walk from the city center of Whangarei. It is amazing. There is a big canyon, there is a bridge to pass above the falls. It just looks fantastic, and if you know how to do slow shutter pictures, you'll get some smooth waterfall pictures that everybody loves. At number 81, we have the Omaka Aviation Heritage Center. Yes, that's the full name of it. Okay, so it's a collection of airplanes from World War I, World War II, and they're all put into scenes designed by the Weta Studio. It all looks absolutely fantastic, and it's basically if your museum was brought to life. It's really cool to visit. At number 80, we have visiting New Zealand's only castle. If you are a stray knight looking for a castle to ransack, then Lana Castle is the best one for you. There is no moat and no rampart. Aside from that, there is beautiful gardens to visit, and the castle itself is a feat of engineering and architecture. For number 79, what about visiting the set of the movie Mad Max? Well, that's not in New Zealand, that's in Australia. But the Steampunk HQ in Oamaru is a great option to get your steampunk fix. There is a lot of alternate reality experiences there, it's definitely worth checking out. For number 78, move over Hollywood, here comes Wellywood. Yeah, that's right, Wellington, New Zealand's capital, is also a mecca of movie making, and you can check out all the behind the scenes at the Weta Workshop Studios. You'll be able to see props and movie magic behind Avatar, The Lord of the Rings and a ton of Marvel movies. You'll love it. At number 77, we have a nice, quaint, free activity, and that's Mount Maunganui. Mount Maunganui is a suburb of the town of Tauranga, and the mount itself is a prominent feature of that said suburb. You can climb it to go and check out 360 degrees views of the whole peninsula, but you can also go there just to exercise like the locals, because that is the place where every single locals go for a jog. At number 76, we're trying out a round of golf. I've never played golf before I arrived in New Zealand, and I got to try it here. Do you know why? Because there are golf courses everywhere. It seems that every town, village and city has its own golf course or two. Some of the most popular ones are on the North Island Cape Kidnappers, it's super scenic, and on the South Island Millbrook for the same reason. At number 75, we have a Wellington's favorite. It's checking out Cape Palisade Lighthouse. There is a seal colony nearby, there is even some Lord of the Rings shooting location, and you can climb the ungodly amount of steps that will take you all the way up to the lighthouse for stunning views and also amazing picture opportunities. But seriously, there is a lot of steps. I didn't have any footage for number 74, which is catching a rugby game. Guess what? Licensing footage for rugby games from Sky Sport is super expensive, so let's look at this rugby ball having a whale of a time. Look at it. Whee! Here you go. Anyway, checking out the local rugby field with all the locals, it's heaps of fun, and if the All Blacks are playing, well then party is in town. At number 73, we have canyoning in Queenstown. Yes, that's right, we're going back into adventuring around New Zealand. Leave the rugby behind. Alright, so canyoning is basically jumping and scrambling through canyons and making your way through tiny or big waterfalls and abseiling and all that good stuff, and it's epic to do in Queenstown. Alright, back to the city for number 72, we're gonna check out the Sky Tower. Who wouldn't want to go on top of the Southern Hemisphere's tallest building and check out the beautiful views of the Hauraki Gulf and the Auckland city skyline? You're gonna absolutely love your visit up there, plus the coffee's not bad there too. At number 71, we have kayaking, cruising or swimming, no I'm joking, don't swim, to the Maui rock carving in Lake Taupo. So Lake Taupo is basically the crater of a super volcano, and that's a feat in itself already, but there is a beautiful Maui carving to visit on your sailing trip, and that's definitely worth the picture. At number 70, we have checking out the pancake rocks of Punakaiki. There is also some blowholes there, by the way, so go on high tide. Okay, so it's located literally on the main road in Punakaiki, and it's a must-do at any point if you do a road trip on the west coast of the South Island of New Zealand. It just, the image speaks for themselves. It looks really cool. Take some picture there. At number 69 we're doing a brewery tour. There are many breweries to visit around New Zealand, but if I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick the one which is on show right now, and that's the Monty's Brewery. The Monty's Brewery is located in Greymouth, and there is some really good food to be bought at the bar after the tour. At number 68 we have climbing in Wanaka, especially with wide wire. So if you're not a climber and know nothing about climbing, what about trying Via Ferrata? Well, if you're not a climber, you don't know what that is. It's basically climbing made easy. Look at the footage and check it out. Fun fact, I did break my arm on video on YouTube on number 67. That's Mount Manaya Track. It's located near Whangarei. It's a really nice hike that you can go up all the way in the mount and see 360-degree views around the surrounding. It's a fantastic, easy walk, and yeah, I broke my arm in that YouTube video. Check it out. At number 66 we have a kiwi icon. It's a kiwi pie. It's a staple of every gas station and bakehouse in New Zealand, but you may want to try it out from some of the really awesome places that make really awesome pies, such as the Fairley Bakehouse in the South Island or the Turangi Bakehouse on the North Island. And remember, always blow on the pie. Number 65 is kite landboarding. I'm not going to describe what that is because you can just see the footage and you know, it's self-explanatory. It's pretty weird, but it's really awesome. I was as surprised as you are to have put that on my list, but turned out that when I was ranking everything, I really had a lot of fun in Foxton doing kite landboarding. So here it is, number 65. At number 64 we have the cutest alpacas in New Zealand, and they are at Chamara, in Akaroa, in the Banks Peninsula. All that rhymes. Anyway, the setting is wonderful, the tour is amazing, and the alpaca are super cute. So check it out. At number 63 we have the Christchurch Botanic Gardens. Now to be fair, I very well could have put the Wellington Botanic Garden there as well, but Christchurch is known as the City of Gardens, and so just for that reason it has to be the garden on the list. Gardens in cities in New Zealand are amazing, well beyond what I've ever seen in other countries. At number 62 is Kura Tawhiti, also known as Castle Hill. If you are into bouldering, you probably already know this place, but if you're not, it's basically a lot of amazing rock formation to just scramble around. Maybe try your hand at climbing some of them, but not the too high ones, and just take some amazing pictures. It's very an unusual place. At number 61 we have a hike that I did when I was young and stupid and didn't take my camera with me. That's the Hooker Valley Track in the Aoraki Mount Cook National Park. It's a 3-hour track with amazing valley and mountainous landscape to check out and stunning swing bridges. Check out this footage from Christchurch NZ. At number 60 we have something which is typically Kiwi. It's going fishing. The banks of most rivers in summer in New Zealand are lined with fly fishermen trying to catch a rainbow or a brown trout. Plus, the shores of New Zealand are some of the most prolific fishing areas in the world. At number 59 we have the Gannet colony of Cape Kidnappers. On top of the fault line, the tectonic plates and all the fossils you can check out on the way, when arriving in Cape Kidnappers you'll be able to see the beautiful Gannet colonies. Their behavior is fantastic, the site is just amazing. If you can't make it to Cape Kidnappers, you can also check out Muriwai, which also has an amazing Gannet colony. At number 58, we have probably the most accessible wildlife activity in the country, and that's Zealandia in Wellington. Zealandia is a wildlife reserve where you can check out takahe, which are basically really big fat blue chickens, and I'm not making that up. And yeah, there is plenty of other native birds to check out there. It's really an awesome day trip. At number 57, we have a cruising around the Bay of Island. There is 144 islands to explore, so plenty to see, but the highlight of the trip is always going to be the dolphin, if you get to see some, or the hole in a rock when the entire boat fits through a massive island. Well, dolphins again at number 56, it's swimming with dolphins in Tauranga. There are other places in New Zealand where you can swim with dolphins, such as Kaikoura, but I wanted to pick Tauranga because it's such a different experience, because you usually hold onto the boat and get dragged behind so the dolphin can swim alongside you. It's amazing. At number 55 we have more stock footage, and this time it's the Karangaheke Gorge. I was stupid enough to visit the Karangaheke Gorge without a camera, but it's an amazing place with rich mining history and fantastic scenery. Look how happy they are. At number 54 we have one of the highlights of my trip before I started NZ Pocket Guide, and that's Devil's Sponge Bowl in Arthur Pass National Park. Nestled in the middle of the rock and the mountain, this waterfall is one of the most spectacular and a photographer's dream. Check out those shots. On number 53 we have biking all the way from Mount Cook to the Pacific Ocean. Yes, that's right, New Zealand doesn't only have multi-day hike, it also has amazing multi-day cycle trail, and the Alp to Ocean is one of them. At number 52 we have ziplining. Despite what South Park says, it's kind of fun to do ziplining. Anyway, in New Zealand you can zipline in Waiheke Island near Auckland, in Queenstown and also in Rotorua. All locations are fantastic. At number 51 we have visiting the Waitangi grounds. The Treaty of Waitangi is basically what made New Zealand a nation, but it has a rich and very controversial history attached to it. So there is an entire museum in the town of Pahia dedicated to that treaty alone. There is a lot to learn, and the museum is super interactive and very interesting to visit. At number 50 we having getting off-road. There is some epic places to go off-road in New Zealand, such as in Hamner Springs, but the best one is in Greymouth with only a bike. The whole area is absolutely amazing, and it feels that you couldn't get into this place if you didn't have those quad bikes. Plus, the guy done the tracks all himself. At number 49 we have the iconic At number 49 we have the iconic Cathedral Cove. You can get there by boat, you can get there by kayak, and you can get there by foot. I think my favorite is getting there by kayak. I've done all three. Anyway, check out all the white cliffs and the caves, it looks amazing, and Narnia was filmed there. At number 48 we have going on the jet boat excursion in the beautiful Fjordan National Park, or the Mount Aspiring National Park. Anything at the bottom of the South Island is amazing. There are plenty of options over there, but the one starting in the house will take you to some pristine places that you feel like no one else have ever set foot to before. At number 47 we have Lake Matheson. It's basically where all the photos of the New Zealand postcard have been taken. Honestly, this perfectly mirrored reflection lake is just amazing, and you're absolutely going to want to spend some time trying to take the perfect shot there. At number 46 we have escaping Auckland to the Hauraki Gulf. You can check out Rangitoto Island, but my favorite island will be Tiritiri Matangi. It's a bird paradise and there is so much to check out on this island. I wish the ferry was giving us more time there than just a day. At number 45 we have Feeding the Stingray in Gisborne. You can also do that in Lochmara in the Marlborough Sound, but in Gisborne you really get up close and intimate with them, as you can go during the low tide and literally you just wear some really long boots and hang out with the stingray. That's something you can do apparently. At number 44 we have visiting a high country farm. New Zealand is well known for its epic farming, and visiting a high country farm will give you an insight into sheep shearing as well as dog rearing sheep around. It's amazing to see. Some good options are Walter Peak in Queenstown and Morley in the Canterbury. At number 43 we have one of the most epic museums I ever set foot into, and that's the Te Papa Museum in Wellington. There are so many exhibitions, there are so many things to see there, but the highlight has to be the colossal squid. A really colossally big squid to check out. Anyway, you can literally spend a day on that museum and it's not a boring one. At number 42 we have horse trekking. My favorite has to be Peel Forest in the South Island. You can horse trek your way in many places in New Zealand, such as River Valley as well as Haipara on the North Island. At number 41 we have stargazing in the International Dark Sky Reserve. That's right, New Zealand has an International Dark Sky Reserve located on the South Island, where all the light emission at night are regulated. Indeed, it makes for fantastic viewings of the stars. There are plenty of tours. You can check out us doing a few of those tours on YouTube and literally right now on this video. At number 40 we have seeing the forest under a very different perspective with West Coast Treetop Walkway. Basically it's some giant metallic walking path above the forest, so you can get a completely different angle to your usual forest walk in New Zealand. It's quite amazing and it's located, well, on the west coast of the South Island of New Zealand. At number 39 we're sticking to the South Island and we stay... At number 39 we're sticking on the South Island, but we're going to Farrell's Pit, very different landscape. So you can only get there with a tour because it's a protected area, but all this long sandspit is a bird's paradise and a protected wildlife area. Plus check out Wharareki Beach, which is nearby and provide amazing archway photo opportunities. At number 38 we're making our way back to the North Island and we're checking out the god of the forest, Tane Mahuta. It's a giant kauri tree that you can find in the Waipoa forest. You should go there with a tour so you hear all the stories and the Maori legends surrounding it. At 37 we have taking pictures of a big thing. New Zealand compensates for its really small size by building really big version of normal things, such as a big gumboot in Taihape, a gigantic soda bottle in Paeroa, a gigantic trout in Gore, and much more. We have a full list on NZ Pocket Guide. At number 36, we have an icon of New Zealand. It's surfing. You've got to try surfing when coming to New Zealand. Or if you're in New Zealand, you've got to try surfing. Kiwis are relentless when it comes to surfing. They even will go surfing in the South Island in winter. We wouldn't recommend that. Go in summer and go in Raglan. It's on the North Island and it's really nice. Another icon of a road trip in New Zealand is the waterfalls. There are a ton of waterfalls around New Zealand, but if I have to pick one and one only to take a picture of, well, I pick one on each island. There is Bridal Veil on the North Island and there is Maclean Falls in the Catlins in the South Island. At number 34, we have the Waitomo glowworms. Obviously, you saw this one coming. It had to be on my list. So here you go, number 34. Check out those glowworms. It's quite amazing. There is another spot to check out the glowworms in Te Ana as well. Number 33 is another picturesque spot on the South Island and it's the Hokitika Gorge. Those milky blue water on white cliffs are looking absolutely amazing. The swing bridge is picture perfect. Just go there for the day. It's a really short walk and very well appointed. At number 32 we have whitewater rafting. You can do it in Queenstown, you can do it in Geraldine, Rangitata Raft, my favorite. You can do it in Tongariro, you can do it in Taupo, you can do it in many other places. I probably forgot River Valley on the North Island as well. There is so many options, it's fantastic. Check it out. At number 31 we have jet boating. A bit like whitewater rafting, it's an icon, it's something that everybody does when traveling around New Zealand. There are plenty of options, but the whitewater rafting with Rapids Jet in Taupo is quite epic because that's probably the only one that makes you whitewater raft on rapids. It's very bumpy. Fan of the Lord of the Rings cannot miss number 30. Of course, it's Hobbiton. The tour takes you through the movie set and ends up at the Green Dragon Tavern where you can get a pint. If you're lucky enough and rich enough to afford one of those evening tours, you can even have a massive banquet buffet at the end. At number 29 we have swimming with seals. While seals don't really like to... At number 29 we have swimming with seals. It was one of the most surprising wildlife encounters I've ever had in New Zealand. Going in the water and seeing the seals coming toward me and checking me out more than I was checking them out was absolutely amazing. I loved it and I just fell in love with those googly eyes. On number 28 we have skiing down an active volcano. That's right, Mount Ruapehu is actually the largest active volcano in New Zealand, and on top of that it is also one of the largest skiing area in the country. So in winter in New Zealand you can go ski down an active volcano. How epic is that? At number 27 we have Do a Great Walk. Probably the most popular one is the Milford track, but honestly many others are better. So check out the Abel Tasman track or the Redburn track. There is really a lot of fun to be had on New Zealand walking trail, especially on multi-day hikes. At number 26 we have indulging or having heaps of fun at the Hadmer Springs pools. The hot pools over there are a lot of fun for kids and adults alike. Check out the footage. At number 25, we had one of the favorite activity of my partner Laura. It's Ulva Island in Stewart Island. It's a bird sanctuary and you can check out kiwi birds up close if you're lucky enough. We were not, we saw kiwi birds elsewhere, but there is a lot of other bird species that are not afraid to come up close. At number 24, we have probably one of our most popular YouTube video ever. It is bungee jumping in Queenstown. Yes, I did chicken out on that day. I really wanted to, but the fear took over me. But Laura did it and she had a blast. In number 23, we have one of the hidden gems of New Zealand, the Opera Arches in Karamea. Located on the west coast of New Zealand, it's a must-see if you do a road trip down there. At number 22, we have one of my favorite things to do in Dunedin. It's the Banks Peninsula. There is a Royal Albatross Center where you can check out those amazing albatross birds, but also nearby there is a seal colony and there is also little blue penguins coming back every single night to the shore. At number 21, we have the best souvenir ever from New Zealand. It's carving your own greenstone in Hokitika. It's the best way to create your own souvenir that you'll be able to keep for life as a reminder of your epic trip to New Zealand. At number 20, we have the luge. You probably have heard of the luge. It's quite iconic in New Zealand and you can do it in Queenstown and in Rotorua. My favorite has to be Rotorua just because the course is a little bit more fun and a little bit more tricky. At number 19, we have Hot Water Beach. It's a beach where you can dig your own jacuzzi. That's right, if you dig in the sand, you're gonna get some really hot water coming out, and then with the cold waves coming in, then you're gonna have the perfect temperature jacuzzi that you digged yourself. It's quite fun. At number 18, we have the Transalpine train journey. It's always ranked as one of the most beautiful train journeys in the world, and for good reason. It is absolutely stunning. You can catch it from Greymouth or from Christchurch, or even from Christchurch and return to Christchurch. At number 17, we have one of my favorite diving spots in New Zealand. It's Pornight Island. Especially if you get to go to Blue Mau Mau Arches, which is absolutely stunning. You can go in the intro dive, or if you're already experienced, you can dive on yourself. At number 16, we have another icon, and yes, we are in the top 20, so there is a lot of obvious icons right here, but it's kayaking in Abel Tasman National Park. It is an absolute stunner. The beaches are golden, the forests are lush, and the waters are crystalline. Do it. At number 15, we have a crowd pleaser. No matter where you decide to go, this footage right here is going to be Cape Falwin. There is a lot of seal colonies around New Zealand, and the seals are quite active or quite lazy, but no matter what, it's a good spectacle. I love seals. At number 14, we have another icon of traveling in New Zealand. That's right, that's the Tongariro Alpine Crossing. Everybody wants to do it, and for good reasons. First, it is one of the Lord of the Rings filming locations. Second, it only takes a day to do. And third, it looks amazing. Seriously, look at it. It looks awesome. Number 13. Taking a cruise in Milford Sound. If you make a journey to the Southern End, there is pretty much no way you are leaving without checking out Milford Sound. While taking a cruise there, it's only taking you about 2 to 3 hours and you'll get to see most of the sound without having to spend too much time there, so you can drive back to Queenstown on the same day. At number 12, we have what has been dubbed the most visited natural attraction in New Zealand, and that's Huka Falls. It is where New Zealand's largest lake, Lake Taupo, empties, and it looks like they didn't open the tap big enough because the water is gushing. At number 11, we have seen the geysers, the bubbling mud, and all the other geothermal wonders of New Zealand in the town of Rotorua. There are so many different parks like Orake Korako, Waimangu Volcanic Valley, and Te Puia that you can visit to check out the geothermal activities of the area. Pick one of them and enjoy. Coming in at number 10, we have another wildlife highlight. You know me, I'm a sucker for wildlife, and it's whale watching in Kaikoura. You can see the gigantic sperm whale going down in the water while flinging the gigantic fluke with a full commentary cruise in Kaikoura. It's fantastic. Coming in at number 9, we have checking out the vividly blue waters of the Te Wekaropupu Springs. It's located on top of the South Island and you will not believe how clear and see-through the waters are. It's amazing. At number 8, we have skydiving. Skydiving is huge in New Zealand and there are plenty of options. From the top of the Northern End, like Pahia, the Bay of Islands, to the bottom-ish of the Southern End in Franz Joseph. If I have to pick my favorite, I would pick Franz Joseph for the views alone. At number 7, we're going to go for a peaceful one, and that's going to be witnessing the sunrise in the East Cape. Yes, the East Cape is the first part of the world to see the sunrise every single day, and you know, you want to tick that on your lifelong bucket list, seeing the first sunrise. At number 6, we have wine tasting. There are a lot of amazing wines in New Zealand, and I know what I'm talking about. I was born in France, and all French people are experts in wine. Everybody knows that, right? Anyway, the wines in New Zealand is delicious, and if I have to pick one region to wine taste in, that would be Marlborough. You guys know how much we value your feedback, and guess what? We've heard you. The Puakai Town track had to be on this list. Despite the fact that I have not done it just yet, I'm actually scheduled to do it sometime this year. I have to put it on the list because, well, it just looks so fantastic. I've done many hikes around the Taranaki area and I can vouch for the epicness of the area. On number 4, we have experiencing the Maori culture, especially the evening tours. You can immerse yourself in New Zealand's original culture throughout so many cultural tours as well as village visit in Rotorua, which often include a hangi, which is a traditional Maori meal. On number 3 we have venturing far north to Cape Reinga. Cape Reinga is where you're gonna find the most photographed lighthouse in the country, I think. Honestly, it is a picture-perfect opportunity. Plus, over there you're gonna see the Tasman Sea and the Pacific Ocean meet, colliding together and creating some kind of wave, which is interesting to see. There is a lot of Maori culture to be experienced there too. Number 2, we have checking out kiwi birds. There are so many ways to encounter kiwi birds, but live encounters with kiwi bird, this endangered species, is actually heart-melting. I love this bird and I love every single one of the encounters I've ever had. Early on in this video I told you that the Tasman Glacier will make another appearance. Well, guess what? Number 1 is heli hiking on Tasman Glacier, New Zealand's longest glacier. There are other options. You can go to French Joseph or Falls Glacier, but my pick is Tasman Glacier. You cannot leave New Zealand without experiencing those beautiful ice caves and the grandeur that are New Zealand glaciers. Alright guys, that's it for today, 101. Do you agree with my picks? There is a link right above my head with a full list with more information about each of the activities if you want to know more. Just a quick reminder that everybody is a winner here, with all the activities that I was lucky enough to do around New Zealand. Making it to the top 101 is quite amazing, no matter the placement. Remember to hit me up in the comments below with your favorite things to do in New Zealand so I can mention you in an upcoming video where I'll be covering all your guys' suggestions. Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on that video, and have fun exploring New Zealand!